better chase all your cares away. Sing hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. The sun is shining, come on, get happy. The Lord is waiting to take your hand. Hallelujah, come on, get happy. We're going to the promised land. We're heading across the river. Wash your sins away in the tide. It's all so peaceful on the other side. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You better chase all your cares away. Do-do-do-do-do. Come on, get happy. Forget your troubles and just get hallelujah, come on, get happy. Forget your troubles and just get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The Lord's gonna take your hand. Forget about your troubles and chase your cares away. Get ready for the judgment day. Come on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have our opening song that is normally a congregational sing-along song is with a few more members of our Dual Tones Choir joining us. There will be Karen Allen and Rick Dale and Wade and Jimmy. And if you know it, you've heard this a few times before, it's going to be Everybody Rejoice. One, two, three.
Rejoice, rejoice, everybody rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, everybody rejoice.
Everybody look around, cause there's a reason to rejoice, you see. Everybody come out, and let's commence the singing joyfully.
Everybody look up and see the hope that we've been waiting on. Everybody be glad, because the silent fear and dread is gone.
Freedom, you see, it's got our hearts singing so joyfully. Just look about, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 Party time now.
Everybody be glad.
Be glad.
Because the sun is shining just for us.
Everybody wake up.
Wake up.
To the morning into happiness.
Hello, world. It's like a different way of living now. Thank you, world. We always knew that we'd be free somehow. In harmony, we show the world that we've got liberty. It's such a change for us to live so independently. Can you feel a brand new day? 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 Can you feel it? It's a brand new day. Can you feel it? Yeah. Can you feel it? Can feel it. It's a brand new day. Can you feel it? Yeah. Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new
another nice hand for our jewel tone singers.
Oh, wow. What a way to start today. Welcome, everyone, to the Center for Spiritual Living in Capistrano Valley in beautiful San Clemente. What a gorgeous day today, a day to celebrate. We have such an incredible service for you, as you can already tell since the beginning of it. Inspiring, uplifting, fun, joyful, and wonderful. So I'm so glad you're here this morning. Whoever you are, whatever path you're on, you are welcome here. We are a non-denominational center. And as I told you a couple weeks ago, when I was up north in Nevada City, I went to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, Reverend Raffi Ellis, and he read something that I just love. So I'm going to read that to you. And this is who we are. What does that church, what does that center, what does that church believe in? Well, this is it. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the very diversity of creation. We strive to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in conscious practices that uplift our spirit and deepen our awareness and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contributions through giving generously of our time, our talent, and our treasures. We intentionally promote our community and our teachings. I love that. And so we're going to start this morning, as we do every Sunday morning, with our flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candles for all forms of Christianity, honoring that Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring a path of compliance with the will of God, the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner Faith Mackey lights that last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And now Faith will be opening our service with an affirmative prayer, our affirmation, and our declaration.
Thank you. So, everybody just relax, close your eyes, and just allow yourself to just take the breath in, the breath of life, the breath that created us. Just breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. and just relax into your chair and just be totally centered. So what I know is that there is only one power, one presence, one energy, one life. And I call this energy God, and God is pure love of the purest form. God is everything that's good, joy, harmony, peace. God is right here, right now, in this very room. God is everywhere present. God is in, through, and back of everything. And I know that this presence that I call God is in me, operating through me as me. So this is the truth of who I am. This is also the truth of each and every one of us. And so what I know today is that today is a brand new day. Today we have a brand new senior minister, Reverend Alice. And Alice is here bringing her gifts of all the gifts that she's collected throughout her years of being minister. And she's here to share those gifts with us today. She's here to share them with us. So as we're here, open your mind and open your heart, because there's a lot of gold nuggets in the message that she's delivering today. So you'll know when it's yours. When you hear it, you'll know that that is your nugget. That is your gold nugget. So accept it. Be joyful for the gold nugget that you have, for it is yours to treasure. It is yours to grow and to blossom with. It is your prosperity in science of mind. And I am so grateful for all that is and all that's yet to be. I am so grateful for everybody here today. I am so grateful for the opportunity to share everything that Reverend Alice is sharing with us today. I am so grateful to receive the gifts. And so with a grateful heart and great gratitude, I release this prayer into the law and allow it to manifest, and knowing that it's all good because it's all God. And so I anchor it together with each and every one of you by saying, and so it is. So now we're going to read the affirmation together. I believe in myself because I believe in God, and so it is. And so now I'm going to read the Declaration of Principles. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. The perfect spirit operates on a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to create health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now and I rejoice in it, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Faith. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, and now please welcome to our platform the Jewel Tones and Mixed Ensemble.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Judy. So, yes, so during the wonderful, challenging year and a half that we've all been living through, we continued with a few small groups that we knew were potted, that we knew were safe. And these troopers here who are performing for you today we've kept rehearsing and rehearsing on, off. And I'm just so grateful for their big hearts and their commitment and their talents to share with you this morning. You guys ready? So our soloists in this song are Karen Allen and Rick Dale. This is Bridge Over Troubled Water.
I'll be your
you're down, I will carry you like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down.
When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes
And pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. I'll be your bridge over troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I will ease. I will ease your mind.
The Jewel Tones Ensemble.
let's give them another hand. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Sitting here with tears rolling down my face, messing up my makeup. That's a beautiful song, and you do it so well. Thank you. All I could see singing about the bridge, and I saw this beautiful woman walking across it. We've been waiting for this moment for so long. So please give from the Board of Trustees and the ministers, the practitioners, our congregation, everyone, please give a deep and warm welcome to our brand new spiritual director, Reverend Alice Reed. Reverend Alice.
I just want to look around this sanctuary this morning and take in all the power and the beauty that I see before me. All the beautiful faces that have come here this morning to celebrate a new beginning. And I'm so excited to be here with you as I make this transition from Santa Cruz to Capistrano Valley. I'm really happy to be here. It seems like yesterday, just last week, I was the spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz, and here I'm with you now. And well, actually, just last week I was the spiritual director of Santa Cruz, and now today I'm starting here with you. And I can't believe how quickly September came. It might have seemed a little longer for you, but I had a lot of movement in my life, a lot of completion to do as I joined you here as your minister. And I have to tell you, it's been a wonderful and surprising journey for me to come here I still sort of like need to pinch myself. I'm in the process of moving right now, and in that moving, there's, I kind of forgot how stressful it can be to move. When was anybody moved in the last couple of years? Yeah, there's a lot of details. There's decisions that need to be made moment to moment. I haven't, before Santa Cruz, I hadn't moved in over 20 years, and I found myself surprised by all the things that had to be done, all the to-do lists and the things to consider. And yet I will tell you that when I was a kid, my dad was a salesman, and so we moved around a lot because he would have different products to sell, and that would take us to different places. And I remember when I would show up in these new communities, I'd have to make new friends, I'd have to, everything would be new. And I remember envying all the kids that grew up together. It would feel like it wasn't fair that I had to, learn all the secrets that they knew among themselves and all the special places where we were living. And yet I can tell you as an adult that the real gift of moving, of going from place to place, of having to adjust myself wherever we went, was a sense of resilience and flexibility and the ability to be able to feel at home wherever I landed. But if I were to tell my 14-year-old that these were the gifts that were going to come from moving, she wouldn't believe you. Not for a second. Not for a second. And, when you're a kid, that's moving and making new friends can be really challenging. And yet we know that as we move through stress, as we move through challenging times, that there's something that's being stirred up. And I find myself in this time now in the last 18 months that something has been stirred up in my own life. And I imagine as you look back over the last 18 months, just imagine, if you will, and scroll back in time to February of 2020. And think about the plans that you had, the direction your life was moving in, the things that you'd hoped to accomplish. And then March of 2020 rolls around and everything changes. Everything changes. Leaving the Center for Spiritual Living Santa Cruz and moving to San Clemente was not on my radar. Not at all. It was not the thing, it was not the plan for me. And yet moving through the pandemic and the early stages of that, when there was so much change and so much need for us to, imagine you had the similar situation, trying to learn how to cope in a new way. Learning how to not only survive, but thrive and sorry, my mic is not quite on. Learning how to thrive and to function in a world in a different way. And as I was moving through that time, I began to crystallize in my mind the things that I wanted to experience, the ministry that I wanted to experience, the things that I wanted to do. And when March of 2021 rolled around, it became apparent to me that I might need to think about some new possibilities. One of the things we do in Centers for Spiritual Living is that we have these global themes, and this year's global theme is Ancient Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision. And the whole year is really designed to step into possibility, to begin to look at newness and to vision and to hear our soul's call, to begin to do that holy, holy uprising. I'm sort of going through the monthly themes in my mind, and I wrote them down to help me. So, March was open to possibilities. And in March, I decided to be open to possibilities. I really did, and so did you, because this community put out a call for a new minister. And then in April, we had the theme of stepping into the unknown, and that's when this community began to look at different possibilities for a new minister, and I began to consider if this was my next right step. And in May, we had the Holy, Holy Uprising. And there was definitely something rising up in me as I went through the interview process with your selection team. And in June, the theme was the soul's call. And in June, that was when I came out here to candidate with you. And much to my surprise, this candidating process got very real, because I realized you weren't bringing anybody else forward. So all of a sudden, it wasn't just an application. We were really checking each other out. Yeah, this thing was going to happen. The July theme was pulled by vision, and that's really where the rubber meets the road. When things shift, when we're working in the world of condition and circumstances, we have to go back to our vision and allow it to pull us forward. And I can only imagine the process that this community worked through as you began your vote, as you began to turn back to that visioning process and what you had been calling forward to decide if it was ours to be, for me to come here, and you did your vote. And I can tell you, 400 miles north, I was preparing my community for a shift and change. And I was working with my assistant minister and my board of trustees to really explore what was going to be Santa Cruz's next yet to be. And I'm really happy to say that the assistant minister there is young and brilliant and the perfect new spiritual director for Santa Cruz. And so Santa Cruz had to look at their vision and what was going to be pulling them forward. And we had a similar process where we brought the community together, where we asked them to do their spiritual practice, to check in with their minds and their hearts and to see what it is that wanted to be called forth as that community. And then the August theme, pause for guidance. That was the time to really look within, to find a sense of transition and what we would be walking out as we began to get ready for the new. One of my favorite quotes is from Marcia Sutton, and she likes to say that incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. Incomplete endings inhibit new beginnings. And so one of the tasks that I had before me was to be very complete in Santa Cruz. And that was a beautiful process that we moved through as we really created our own bridge, as I made the space to really rise up their new minister and then to be complete with my work there. And here in the month of September, we have the theme of reaching higher. Now, I don't know about you, but when I look at the theme, when I look at all that has transpired for me personally, as well as in the communities that I've been involved with, it really tracks. There is a beautiful flow of movement in our minds and our hearts as we move through these themes, as we begin to take them home with us, as we begin to bring them within, to see how, not only how do we practice those ideas and embrace them with our heart, but at an individual level, but how do we do that on a community level? And then how do we do that at a worldwide level? When I look at the overarching theme of ancient wisdom, evolutionary vision, that's an audacious idea to be able to step into an evolutionary vision. What does that mean? Well, when I think of our movement, when I think of Centers for Spiritual Living, that, as all of you know, started as the religious science organization just over 100 years ago, when I think of the trajectory of our movement, we have mastered creating a world that works for ourselves individually. And our growing edge is, how are we going to create a world that works for everyone? It's an audacious statement. It gives me pause. Somebody, and she'll forgive me for forgetting her name, in our opening treatment for the volunteers said something to the effect of, "Go ask Alice, I think she'll know." Lori-Ann, thank you, Lori-Ann. Yes, and I've seen that on social media as well. Go ask Alice, I think you'll know. I just want to remind you that Go Ask Alice was a story about a troubled teen who was really lost in drugs and didn't end well. So, but I will tell you that I probably have more questions than answers as I stand on this platform that you have built for me as your new spiritual director. And I want to say that that's probably the most powerful place that I can stand. If I came before you and I told you that I had all the answers for you and I was going to figure everything out, it might be a little scary, wouldn't it? You'd be a little worried about me. Like, what the heck does this woman know about me? But not a lot. I have a lot to learn as I come here to be with you. Your theme today in the social media and everything was welcome home. And I look forward to this being my home. And that's a process. That's a process of getting to know you individually and getting to know the community and finding my place here among you. What I know about community is that it isn't just one person leading the bandwagon, marching down the street, leading the parade. It's really about how we come together as a community, how we begin to integrate with all the various personalities and ideas and viewpoints that we have. And so that's really going to be our work over the next couple of months. We're looking at some education programs and different programming for the fall. But I think the most important task that I have before me is to really begin to get to know you and bring you in and hear your voices and ask you questions. Ask you, where do we go from here? Questions like, what is it? Why do you keep coming here? Why are you connected with this community? What is it that you love about this community? What is it that you maybe don't love so much? What would you like to see different? And I want to hear from you. I want to hear the answers to those questions. I know many of you have been part of this community for a really long time. And so you have wisdom. And I want you to share that wisdom with me. I want to hear from you. I want us to have dialogue. And I know that as we do that, something beautiful will emerge. Something from the shared wisdom that each of you keep. Each one of you is a wisdom keeper here. Each one of you has a piece of that. And so I was kind of looking at there was a subtle theme through the songs of, that bridge over troubled waters and, the stepping up and leading us to hope. And the best I can promise you is that I will listen to you, I will see you, I will get to know you, and we together will be the hope. We together will be the bridge from me to we. Because I really think that that is the bridge, that evolutionary vision that our movement has to bridge ourselves from a world that works for me to a world that works for everyone. There's a lot going on in the world right now, would you agree? We kind of thought we were going to be out of the woods. Remember when December 2020 rolled around and we thought it was all going to be different for 2021? Not. It was not different for 2021. We're still here. It took us a while to get here, and it's going to take us a while to walk out. But as we walk this out, we have an opportunity to use maybe you're feeling a little unsteady about what's happening in the world. Maybe you're feeling a little off balance and you're trying to find your way and what it is that wants to come up and be known by you and what is yours to do. And we will find that together. In spiritual community, that's where the rubber meets the road, because we can reflect that to each other. We can see each other. We can listen to each other. We can hold that highest vision of a world that works for all while standing in our mastery of a world that works for us individually. And it is our mastery that will lead us into this new realm of possibility. I told a little story about the 14-year-old who never would have believed that there were so many gifts of the upheaval that I lived through as a youth. And I can tell you that as beloved community members and world citizens that have moved through the upheaval of the world, I can guarantee you that each and every one of you will receive gifts by choosing to be conscious, by choosing to walk out this current condition that we're experiencing. The gift that I'm sort of massaging right now is the idea that we are faced with right now with, as we continue to move through this global pandemic, we're continuing to be faced with a lot of dualistic thinking, a lot of othering, a lot of differences of opinions. And so there was a great quote in this week's outline, and I'm going to read it to you verbatim because I thought it was so powerful. From the perspective of science of mind, we are one. And when we embody unity, we live from love. When we get confused in the world of effects, we think and feel we are separate, and from that place, our judgments between good and evil begin. And so as religious scientists, as practitioners of this philosophy, we are beautifully poised from our mastery to really look out into the world and notice when we're othering. Notice when we're practicing and believing in separation. I don't know about you, but it happens to me almost every day. It's, I've got my viewpoints too. And so there are, to be totally honest, there are viewpoints of others that I don't quite understand yet. But I see that as a call to love. Maybe not at first always. But eventually I get there. And it is my prayer every day that I choose love, that I choose to, in the face of conflict or differences of opinion or different viewpoints or different approaches to the world, that's the choice point for me. And that's what I'm committed to, because I really believe that we can create a world that works for everyone. I really believe that we can master it and that we are perfectly poised as a movement to lead that way. But it does require making choices. Choices to be in oneness, choices to choose. When we are working with God qualities like love and freedom and beauty, these are immutable qualities. And for me, the immutable quality that I always go to is love. Your quality might be beauty. It might be joy. It could be freedom. And I encourage you to spend the time to figure out what it is, what quality will you use to crystallize your choice to move forward in the world from a place of oneness. What quality will you use? And my invitation to you as we are reaching higher is to do that investigation within. And when you get muddied or confused, reach out to a practitioner, reach out to a prayer partner, reach out to another friend here in the community. Allow yourself to be lifted up when you can't lift yourself up. That's the power of spiritual community. That's the power of this teaching, that we are the power of the two or more, to come together, to walk out greater possibility. So you're ready to reach higher? Yeah. Yeah? Are you ready to reach higher? Yes, all right. All right, well, let's do it. Let's do it together. I'll be with you this Sunday. I'll be with you next Sunday. I have to go back up to Santa Cruz and finish my move, so then I'll be with you again on the 26th. I'll be meeting with many of you over the next couple of months. I really look forward to finding my place here with each one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Alice. Ah,
Thank you, Judy. If my mic's still on, can we give a hand for this woman? Thank you.
oh my God, let's have the jewel tones back.
The Jewel Tones are coming back with a song by a writer whose name is Pink Zebra. What a great name. And this song is called The Dreamer in Me. And it's what we're doing. We're dreaming a new beginning. Thank you, Reverend Alice, for that. And we look forward to getting to know you more and becoming all connected. So are we ready, my darlings up there? Okay, this starts off with a solo by Miss April, and then Wade and Kimberly pops in, and Jimmy pops in, and pretty much everybody. All right, here we go.
Take my hand and I'll be your guide. I'll take you places that you'd never find. I know something about a state of mind. I got the dreamer in me.
Roses bloom and the sun will shine. Leave your troubles in the world behind. Stars shine brighter when you free your mind. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see the world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside, unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me.
Within your grasp, I've got the dreamer in me.
And when we reach the destination, you will see the world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside, unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. Whoa.
You and me.
Whoa.
You and me.
Whoa.
You and me.
Whoa.
And when we reach the destination, you will see
the world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside, unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. You and me. You and me. The dreamer lives in you and me.
My Jewel Tones Ensemble.
Gee, can you guys come back every Sunday? That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. It's time now for our offering, and we have baskets at each of the doors, one here and in the back of the room for your tithe, for your donation. And if you want to hold your gift in your hand right now, and we can feel that love and that energy and fill it with a blessing, we will say our offertory together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
And we have our little trio here, April, Karen Meyer, and myself. And we're doing a song that was written by actually Ruth Moody and Dolly Parton called Glory Bound.
When I hear that trumpet sound, I will lay my burdens down. I will lay them deep into the ground. Then I'll know that I am glory bound.
I'll be traveling far from home, but I won't be looking for to roam. I'll be crossing o'er the great divide. In a better home soon I will reside. Hallelujah, 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 When I'm in my resting place, I'll look on my mother's face. Never more will I have to know all the loneliness that plagues me so. So I'm waiting for that train to come. I know where she's coming from. When I can hear her on the track. When I board, I won't be looking back. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Thank you. April and Karen, yay.
So beautiful. So I just want to say thank you. First of all, I want to thank Diane King Van for being the most incredible music director, choir director, absolutely wonderful. I'd like to also thank the ensemble, the Jewel Tones, Karen, Reverend Karen, and Kimberly, and Rick, and Wade, Jimmy Van, Jamie,
Rita.
April. Wait, I've got it here. April, Rita, and Jamie. There we go. Thank you. Music's incredible. And of course, we couldn't do it without our absolutely excellent band, David Page, Bill Dixon, and Ed Cusby. Thank you. Wow, it's just been just fabulous. On the camera today, we have Clark Wilson. Thank you, Clark. So wonderful. And on the soundboard, we have Dave Friedman, and on the computer, we have Mary Brogdon back there in the back. Wade and Kimberly will be doing our invitations, not right now, in a minute. Sorry. You can come up. Oh, come on, set up. Yeah, good. That's good. You go ahead and set up. Our practitioners today will not be meeting in the back because you know we're going to have a fabulous brunch after this service. Fabulous. And while I think of it, those of you that are vegetarian, there's salads there, but your vegetarian brunch will be, Kathy will have it for you, so you just get your plate, get your salads, and then go into the kitchen, and we have, and there it go. We have it separate for you, so then you come back out and join us, but you get your vegetarian meal in the kitchen. So the practitioners today are Faith Mackey, Jody Charlton, and I believe Aiden Graney. Are you here? And anyway, they are going to be in the multi-purpose room today, which is through the kitchen and in the back. If you would care to meet with them, if you have a challenge, a mental block, some kind of an obstacle in your life right now, and you need to have someone see the truth and look through the forest to see the trees, okay? So that's what a practitioner does. Practitioners, they've been trained in the art and the science of affirmative prayer, and they know the truth that will set you free. So please avail yourself to one of our practitioners today. And then I want to say thank you once again to Reverend Alice. Thank you so much for that very wonderful message. Thank you. So excited to get to know you and, you know, be in the fold and welcome home. Yes. Okay, now invitations. Wade and Kimberly.
All right, so when the service ends, please stay for our celebration as we welcome Reverend Alice and David to our spiritual family. Break the ice and break bread together.
Did you say break bread?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Yes, let's get to know her on a more personal level. As you can see, we're all set up and ready to go as soon as that last note is played. Conscious Connections will resume next week.
We're just having breakthroughs everywhere in the center. If you want a breakthrough in mindfulness, Book Study with Mary meets on Wednesday mornings on Zoom from 10 to 11:30 a.m. And the current book of discussion is The Knowing, 11 Lessons to Understand the Quiet Urges of Your Soul. Contact Mary Brogdon if you have any questions. Oh, look. Here's some mindfulness now. Ha! Another breakthrough! Shifting Sands, our roundtable discussion group, meets on Thursday mornings from 10:30 to 12:30 on Zoom. Attend and have a breakthrough in relatedness.
Like this relatedness?
Why, yes.
Or there's Coming Home, Awakening to Spirit, a group setting focused on an increased awareness of the love and beauty and oneness of our life. It meets at 8 a.m. on Zoom if you want a breakthrough in oneness.
Hey, look, here's some oneness now.
Ooh, another breakthrough.
For information regarding our LGBTQ group, please see Kathy Story or Tony Sparks and have a breakthrough in sexuality. Like this.
Like this?
Calling all creatives, Reverend Karen is planning on holding the annual holiday boutique in December, concluding with our annual holiday brunch. So now is the time to start crafting your beautiful creations, to show off your talents and creativity, and to sell your wares to our spiritual family during the holiday shopping season.
You could have a breakthrough in creativity, like this. Okay, our executive suites at Talega has several suites available to lease. If you know of anyone who might be interested in the freedom of working from a private office with all of the suite's benefits, please have them call Mary Brogdon or Claudia Nelson Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah, let's have a breakthrough in business success, like this. Don't forget to see today's practitioners for whatever breakthrough you need.
Okay, all of the practitioners in the audience, please quiet your mind
and picture a breakthrough of this board. Wow, their power is awesome. Put it to use for you. Today's flowers are for Reverend Alice from your new spiritual family. Welcome home. Hey, no. We already had a breakthrough and got a new minister. So get over here and sing the closing song so we can all break bread together.
Again?
Okay.
Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let spirit flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let spirit flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Show me the kingdom wherever I go.
And so I know that as we go through this week, as we open our minds and open our hearts and allow ourselves to be that place where the kingdom shows up, that each one chooses that powerful presence of Spirit as they march forward throughout this week. I trust that all is well, all is good. And together we say, and so it is.